I feel like I'm melting. It is so freaking hot. I'm just like, what in the world? And it's only June. I'm going to be like baked alive this summer. And we're having this major heat wave through the Bay Area. It's like unbelievable. Everybody's just looking like, like a little melted puddle walking up and down the street and driving in their cars. Well, except people that have AC that works. My car is so old, I don't feel like investing money in fixing it. But I might have to reconsider that, especially if the summer's going to be like this. Just have to unask that $1,000 and get it over with. But I really wasn't trying to spend that money. But anyway, long story short, welcome to Melting What the Fuck Wednesday. I am your host, Deborah Cooper. We come here every Tuesday evening and go over some advice questions that are sent in to me to get my take on these different life situations that these people have. Sometimes, their situation is deadly serious and it's kind of scary. And other times, they just making some just bum ass decisions about some bum ass men, usually the women, and we don't have any problem in telling them. Now, be sure if you're listening to this and you missed the live stream that you do check out what the ladies have to say in the chat because it's always hysterical. They just be going at it and just talking about people real bad. But as we always say, if you want to write your question in for what the fuck Tuesday and have it, appear on this channel, feel free to do so. Navigate to the blog survivingdating.com. Click the button at the top that says Get Advice and submit your question. Or there's a link in each show description. You can find a link. Just click that. It takes you to the same form. And there's also a link at the top of the YouTube channel. There's a little button that says Get Advice. You can click that too. And all three things take you to the same form. And just fill it out and let me know what's going on. Don't write no fucking novel. Just give me the high points because this format is not, it's just not involved. It's not enough time for your thesis and your he said, she said, and what I felt and then I saw and all that. Okay, just give us the Cliff Notes version. So everybody in the chat room, hello there. Glad to see all the regulars in there. My two moderators in there to keep the idiots at bay because they always want to come out and destroy stuff and just ruin everybody's mood. Yes, I do have my hair up again, and you know why? Because it's 1,000 degrees here. The only reason that I haven't crispied up is because I'm part devil myself. So, what can I say? So let's get started. Hold on. We have, oh, okay, we're back to 15 questions again. I knew that was too good to last. So let's go. Question number one. This is from a female, 26 to 35 age group from some place called Rotterdam. I don't know where that is. Anyway, she says, Hi, Deb. I've been dating a guy for over the past month, and so far I like him quite a bit, and we seem compatible. He told me on our first date that his divorce was with his soon-to-be ex wouldn't be finalized for several more months. I appreciated that he mentioned this, and I had no reason to think that his ex and he might still have unfinished business. Last Monday, he left to go on a trip to Amsterdam. I never asked him who he was going with, nor did he volunteer the information. For some reason, it didn't really cross my mind as being something to ask, but in hindsight, I wish I had done so. My curiosity got the better of me a few days after he left, and I went to check out his Facebook profile. We are not friends on Facebook either. I decided to scroll down his timeline and discovered a picture of him and his ex on their wedding day back in 2013. I didn't think too much about it since he rarely seems to go on Facebook. I decided to click on her name, and when it went to her profile page, lo and behold, she's in Amsterdam too. She had a few pictures up, but none of them had him in it, nor had she tagged him in any of the pictures she had taken. I'm not quite sure what to make of it, but nevertheless, I should put that out there. I decided to send him an email after I slept on it because it was bothering me quite a bit, as you can imagine. My email wasn't harsh. I just told him I knew he was with her, and perhaps the two of them still had unfinished business. I also told him that it's not unusual to pine for somebody even after you break up with them or go through divorce. However, I told him that it probably would have to be better for him to disclose this from the beginning. When he replied, he said he was sorry and understood why I felt this way. He went on to say that this vacation has purchased over a year ago and they didn't want to waste the money and decided to travel together as friends because they still get along. He also mentioned that they were staying in separate rooms. I'm not quite sure what to make of the story because obviously it's not an organized tour. The only thing that would have had to get refunded for there was the airplane ticket, and if they couldn't have gotten a refund for that, they could have gotten a credit for a future flight. I want to believe him, but I also have to trust my gut instinct as well. I don't feel mad simply because I haven't known him for very long, but I am very disappointed and hurt. What should I do, Deb? You should get the fuck over it. That's what you should do. Okay, because the man told this is the key part of this letter. There's everything else, all this trip and the deep refunds and separate rooms and he didn't tell you in Facebook pictures and stuff. All of that is irrelevant to the one sentence that you said at the beginning of this letter. He told me on our first date that his divorce with his soon to be ex wouldn't be finalized for several more months. That's all I need to know. He's married. Okay? You getting all tripped out about a married man. If anything, he's supposed to be on a trip with his wife because they're married. Okay? So, what else is there for you to say? What else is there for me to say? I really don't have anything to say because you went into this knowing full well that the man was married. So, anything else that he does with this woman who is his legal wife, there's nothing for me to say about that, and neither is there anything for you to say. There's no reason for you to get disappointed or to feel hurt. You was fucking with a married man, and you got your feelings, your face cracked, as they say. That's what happens when you mess with married men. Now, whether he goes through with the divorce or not, whether he was just lying to you and gaming on you or not, none of that even matters. The bottom line is because he told you that he was married. See, so when you have your moral stance is that you don't fuck with married men. I don't care if you've been separated a day, a month, a week, a year, 6 years, 10 years, whatever. If that's your moral value, okay, that's where you stand. No married men. Then anything that he tells you after he says, I'm still married, you like, I don't hear you. I'm not trying to hear this, and I'm not trying to look at you. Okay, that has to be your bottom line, ladies. You can't be trying to make exceptions and, soft pedal and, well, he said, well, he might, well, I thought, well, he told me, as long as he says it and he tells you right up out the gate, then any decision that you make other than that, that's on you. So that's just an L you got to take, girlfriend. You just got to take it, and there's nothing I can say to you. Understand that you need to be smarter about your choices in the future if that's something that you can't handle. Okay, because you doing all this investigation and spy versus spy shit. Yeah, what else is there? Because once I got to past that, then I kept reading because you guys, she did write it, and that's what the show is. We talk about the stuff that people wrote. But once she said that, I was pretty much done because I knew, whatever else happened, it was going to be irrelevant to the fact that the man was married. Okay. So let me get some. Oh my God. I put ice. I filled this up with ice and water. Look at this. Do you see any signs of ice in this bottle? That's how hot it is. That shit melted in like 5 minutes. Oh, I'm so thirsty. Unbelievable. Okay. Well, she, made a gross error in judgment. But, let's move on and talk about something else with girlfriend. All right. This is question number 2. We got question 2 of we're on 2 of 15 in case you're just rolling in to the wonderful time that we have here every Tuesday called What the Fuck Tuesday. This is from a young woman in the 26 to 35 age group right down the road here in San Jose, California. She says, my boyfriend and I have been together for 6 years. We live in our own home and we have a kid together. My boyfriend works in a small warehouse with 5 coworkers and has been there 7 years. A couple of years ago, a new guy joined the team, and then last year he started privately messaging my boyfriend on Facebook. At first, it was just general chit chat about work, but then we noticed it was every day. After a couple of months, things changed. C, as I'm going to call him, struggles with depression. My partner is a kind person and was there through all of C's troubles. Oh, he offered to help and guide when C had nobody else to turn to. C is also gay. How did I know this was coming? He came out to my boyfriend during his dark times and expressed every feeling he had. He doesn't want to be gay. My boyfriend supported him, assured him there's nothing wrong with being gay, and he again suggested talking to a counselor about it. Amongst all the deep talks, he happened to mention he had bought 2 tickets to go see his favorite DJ abroad, and he booked a hotel room for the night at this specific venue and asked my boyfriend if he would like to join him. My boyfriend declined. A few weeks later, C asked my boyfriend to go on Xbox because he quote needs him and gets into a depressed state whenever my boyfriend says he's busy. At this point, C has also threatened to take his life a couple of times due to the fact that he doesn't want to be gay. Wow, this dude is a I mean, this is like classic narcissistic manipulation. I told my boyfriend to phone him. C didn't answer. Early hours of the next morning, my boyfriend had a message that C said he was on the top of a bridge waiting to jump and that my boyfriend's phone call stopped him from jumping. Alarm bells started ringing in my head, and this is where I started to dislike C. Shit started. Once he was trying to take up my man's time, I would have been like, look. Well, anyway, let me finish this before I tell you how I would have handled this. So C has continued to have his ups and downs, and my boyfriend has continued to be kind to him because they work together. He still constantly reaches out and gets irritated when my boyfriend doesn't reply within X amount of time. And he sees Xbox night as their night and gets all funny if my boyfriend says he isn't on Xbox that night. He also has a thing about questions. He wants my boyfriend to ask him questions all the time and gets annoyed if he doesn't. One evening, C sent a huge long list of questions he wants to be asked and also wants to ask my boyfriend. I can't tell you all of these, but the main one that's really stuck with me and made me feel sick was he asked my boyfriend what his penis size was. My boyfriend told C that this was unacceptable, and C just made out like he was joking. He also asked my boyfriend if it's okay to show him pictures of men that he finds attractive. For some reason, my boyfriend said sure. However, C decided to randomly. This letter's long as hell, but I'm reading the whole thing because you know what? This is some. You guys need to hear this. How a gay dude will go after your dude. That's the reason why I'm reading this whole thing. Because normally I would have cussed and edited it. So, however, Steve decided to randomly pull him aside at work and show him an erotic photo of a naked man with an emoji covering his bits. It's just odd, and we can't understand why he thinks that's normal to do. He now also talks about wanting to hug my boyfriend and goes on about, you owe me a hug, but I'll let you initiate it. What's that all about? I don't know where I'm really going with all this, Deb. I think I just need a fresh perspective. There's so much more I could write on, but he has done and said, but this is turning into an essay. My boyfriend is looking for a new job and is planning on cutting all ties with C as soon as he does. Is this normal behavior? Are we overreacting on thinking of cutting ties? Okay, what your boyfriend was supposed to do was tell C to leave him alone, that he has a woman and a child, and he's not all about this dude bonding stuff with some other dude. He's like, man, I see you at work and that's enough. Okay, he's supposed to put a strict boundary up with dude. I ain't your friend. We see each other working. That's it. Now you say your boyfriend is kind and all of this. What your boyfriend really is stupid and naive. That's what your boyfriend is. If he's not dibbling dabbling with dude, because his responses are kind of questionable for me. I have never seen a dude be this weak when it comes to some gay dude unless he's intrigued by what the man is offering and presenting to him. There's a part of him that is interested. That's what I'm trying to say. A part of him is curious about this dude and flattered that the guy's paying him all this attention because his ego's getting, all pumped up and stuff. And the typical way that they set you up when they see that you're a kind of person that has weak boundaries is first they like bomb you with attention. Okay. Then they bomb you with demands for more attention and time. Then they claim that they have an illness. Either it's a terminal illness, they're battling cancer, they have, something, or in this case, it's depression, which is a common one these days. They got some depression or mental illness that they're fighting. So this is now their excuse why they're so needy and depressed, and looking for even more of you and to make more demands on you. And then they hit you with, I'm just going to kill myself then. So for the person who's soft hearted, that's like a super, unnerving thing. And so they feel responsible for this other person. They feel guilty if the person really does hurt themselves. Like, what could I have done? I should have done more. This kind of thing. Few people are like me who have been like, you want to kill yourself? Good. What you telling me for? Click. You want all this stuff. Motherfuckers, what do I look like? Am I but your boyfriend? Get the fuck off my phone. See, that would have been me. And the fact that we worked together, been like, if you continue this shit, I'm going to go to HR on your ass and tell everybody that your faggot ass is over here interfering with my life. That's what I'm going to do. So I suggest that you leave me alone. See, that's how I talk to people that come, that do just try to like disturb my boundaries and cross lines that they shouldn't be crossing. You don't be nice to people like that. Okay, you got to cuss them out and you got to put some very firm boundaries of expectations, what you will and will not do, and you cannot be shy about it. Ladies, this goes for the same thing with men because they do the same shit. He's depressed. Oh, he can't find a job. He's struggling. He's, this and that. His baby mama. And whatever it is, the whole game is to evoke your sympathy so that they can, act like they're dependent on you. And so your little silly, guilty ass gets caught up in their drama. That's what that's all about. So then they get their claws in you that way. That's what it is. So whether the person's gay, whether the person's straight, it's the game is the same. So this is why I read this whole thing. Yeah, well, I think she's not as naive as she's coming across. That's why she wrote, but she's trying to figure, because it's the kind of thing where you don't want to, as a woman, believe that your boyfriend is interested in some other man, or what the dude's talking about, or curious or whatever. And it could be in this situation where they did, what I'm thinking is they did one thing one time, and the boyfriend is like, I'm done. I don't want to do anything else with you. And this person, this guy, this C person, is not letting go. That's what it sounds like to me. I don't want to say factually, but that's my sixth sense is telling me that's what happened. That he was curious, he went along the first time, and whatever, and then his curiosity was satisfied. He decided it's not for him, and this guy's not trying to hear that. He's just going to insist on it, and the boyfriend is continuing to placate this guy and pay attention to him because he's scared the guy's going to tell his girlfriend what they did. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, but this is the energy that I'm getting from this. So I think she is getting that feeling too, or does she know something more? Because she said there's more things that happen, but it's turning into a novel. So this is an ongoing issue. Their boyfriend's not putting up a boundary for a reason, and I really think that's what it is. He's scared that the dude is gonna, bust him out. Um, Your boyfriend's looking for a new job. Well, y'all need to brace yourself because once your boyfriend gets that new job and cuts off dude's narcissistic supply, he's going to act a fool. You might even end up having to get a restraining order on him. Just prepare yourself because some real funky shit's about to go down because his behavior's not normal. That's not, even if you have a one night stand with somebody, you don't act like that. So, dude is something's, well, she got a baby by dude, so she's not going to just run like that. She's not going to do that. She's trying to figure it out. And like I said, it does not sound like her boyfriend is, this is a situation he wants to continue. Like I said, even if he did it one time, it's not for him. That's what he decided when she satisfied his curiosity. His behavior is not somebody that enjoyed, that wants to continue dabbling with this dude. Because otherwise, he wouldn't be putting up all these different boundaries and stuff. He would be like, yeah, I'm going up with C. I'm going to hang out with C. I'm going to C's house. That's what dudes do when they would want to get together with somebody. It don't take place over, Xbox and all this stuff. And dude, when they asked him what size his dick was, if he had already seen it too. That's another issue that, is coming into play. So I don't know, but something is amiss, and I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. So just brace yourself, girlfriend. This is question number 3. Wait, I need more. I don't know if she saw she saw the notes and the stuff, the text and everything, the messages on Facebook. I mean, that's something that you can't just pretend. It's either there or it's not. Question number three. This is a male, 19 to 25, from Cincinnati. So I got to talking to somebody who I've liked for ages, he says. And we went to Starbucks for half an hour. I was a bit awkward and quiet. A few days later, she said that she doesn't want to date again, even though she had half an hour to judge me. I still like her and feel like if we were to go out again, I could make it work and be less awkward. What should I do? Because I could feel this as a relationship working really well. It don't matter what you feel, motherfucker. What part of no do you not understand? See, this is the part that drives me crazy about men. She's not interested. She gave you a shot and you fucked it up. Sitting there like a bump on the log talking about, you was awkward. If you liked her for ages, your ass should have come out the gate like a racehorse. That's what you were supposed to do. You should have had your shit together. But you didn't. You had it off. You was all fucked up. You wasted 30 minutes of her time and now she's done. So, that ship has sailed, honey. You ain't getting to come back on that one. Like somebody else. And stay out this girl's face. There's nothing you can do. I hate this shit where you go want to write to me talking about how can you make a woman do what you want her to do. What you do is accept that she's not interested. That's what you do. You don't write me asking how you can violate somebody's boundaries and force yourself into their life when they're not, told you flat out she's not interested. What you feel is a fantasy. What you want is a dream, and it's not gonna come true. Okay, she's not interested in you. Accept it. Move on. Jesus Christ. You better hope she don't have no big brothers who like to shoot people like mine. You come around with that bullshit after she told you to get away from her. Shoot. My oldest brother, I told you, if it wasn't for my father, that little nigga would be in San Quentin just as easy as he was in Pepperdine getting his MBA. Okay, he could have been, you know, in behind the bars with a life sentence because he was crazy. So, you have to understand if people have relatives like that, you're taking your life into your hands with this kind of insistence on getting in their face when they done told you no. So you need to stop here, just full stop. Okay? Nothing. You ain't doing nothing with this girl. Yeah, he did, but I get letters like this all the time. All the time. How can I make her this? Well, I want her to that. I need her to this. I mean, all the time. I don't, they're not interesting enough to make it to the column. So, we don't put them. My cousin will talk about. I'm like, no, I don't want to do any more of those. This one, just for a refresher because we haven't done one for a long time, I guess. Yeah, I don't recall doing one for a long time. So, exactly. Like Sugar Baby say, just because you like somebody don't mean that they obligated to like you back. And I don't think he really likes it, right? See, now his ego's involved, because he cheated, interested. But you had 30 minutes to get together. Even if you fucked up the first 10 or 15 minutes, you still had 15 minutes to get your shit together, and you failed on all counts. You just like that first lady, just gonna have to take that L and just move it on. Just move on, because that's over. Yes. You taught your son about that? Yep. Yeah, it's like a lot of them don't hear it, and especially not the message they get in movies. Like the ugly dude will keep chasing a woman and in their fantasy version, because these are all men making these movies. In their fantasy version, they get the girl, but you got to remember that's a movie, that's entertainment, it's a fantasy, it's a dream that they put on the screen because they know a whole bunch of other men had the same dream and they'll pay, $12 per ticket, $15 per ticket to see that dream come true. Even if it's not for them, for somebody else in a movie. But that's not reality. A woman will say no and then I mean she's done. She don't want to be bothered with your ass. So y'all need to accept that. Jesus. All right. Question number 4. We're on 4 of 15. Well, they do end up caving, but they still not interested. Then that's when the guys will be like, well, she just used me. Well, you kept fucking bugging her to death, and so she gave you what you wanted. And now you complain because your fantasy was not exactly what you want, how you wanted it. But you know what I say? You better be careful what you ask for because you're going to get it. Well, I want her to date me. Okay. Well, she was dating you. That don't mean she could stand you. That don't mean that she wasn't doing it for the money or because she just was bored out of her mind, didn't have shit else to do. But you wanted her to date you even after she told she wasn't interested. So you kept bugging her, so she said okay, and she went out with you some more. And then now you mad because you know you wanted to be like this Hollywood fairy tale, and it wasn't like that because she was never into you in the first place. So if dudes just understood that, and stopped bugging women all the time, it's like either she's into you or she's not. And no matter you bugging her like a damn, just getting on her nerves like a bugaboo is going to make her love you. It's never going to happen. It doesn't work like that. All right, so let's move on. Question number 4. This is from a young woman in the 26 to 35 age group from Ottawa, Canada. My best friend booked and paid for flights overseas for a week in September for me and two of her friends, other friends. My sister, on the other hand, wants to celebrate her 10-year anniversary and renew her vows the same day that I leave. Her actual anniversary is 3 days beforehand. No time, date, invite, or place had been set when we booked our trip. The only thing that happened was a brief conversation some months back where she said she was thinking about renewing her vows. Okay, so that don't really sound like anything to bank on. Yesterday, she asked me if I was available on her anniversary date, which I said I was. She then realized her anniversary didn't fall on a weekend and told me she wants to have it the day I leave. I tried to change the flight to the next day, but it will cost me a full fare, money which I don't have. I also asked her if she would celebrate it on the weekend before I go or when I get back, but she won't budge. Her reason is because it's bad luck. I should have known, and that is her daughter's birthday. I've also asked if she would help me pay for the flight change fee so I could change it, but she said nothing. She's now making me feel guilty and accusing me of choosing my friends over family. Deb, am I being unrealistic here? Should I have considered this when nothing had been formally set? I don't know what to do. I love my sister, but she's making me feel so bad. That's really unfortunate. So what you have to do is tell your bitch ass sister, which I know you love her and all of that stuff, but at certain point you have to love yourself more. And you love the friend who loved you enough to unask whatever thousands of dollars it costs for you to fly with her and her other two friends to wherever she wants to see. That's when people know that you don't have the money, but they really want you there. Your companionship means more to them, and if they have the money to do it, then they do it. When I used to be a baller, I would do stuff like that. Hawaii, I went with a bunch of people, and I paid because they didn't have the money. I paid for the hotel. I didn't pay for their airfare, but I paid for the whole hotel and stuff and bought some dinners and everything. So, you do what you can do when you have people around you that you love and you want to spend time with them. And the least she could do after throwing a fit, bitch in a fit like that is to pay the change fee then. You were willing to go the next day to accommodate her, but that's not good enough. She wants you to not go on this trip. That's what that's all about. So what you have to do is just tell her that it's too bad, but she needs to understand that her wedding don't have nothing to do with you. Her daughter don't have nothing to do with you. Her marriage don't have nothing to do with you, and neither does her anniversary have anything to do with them. That's all about her and her husband, and her daughter. That's all shit about her. They don't have nothing to do with you. So you just tell her that you'll see the pictures in the video when you get back, and you wish her the best of luck, and you take your happy ass and get on that plane. Don't you listen to nothing else that she got to say about her event or whatever, because she had options here. She had plenty of options. Some vague reference months ago to I'm thinking about having a party or whatever. I mean, what's that supposed to do? I mean, I might say, well, I'm thinking about, flying to the moon. Does that mean I'm going to do it on a specific day? No. So, I wouldn't really worry about this too much. I understand that it's your sister and you feeling some kind of way about it, but I'm asking you to stop doing that. Think about the fun that you're going to be having with your friends, because see what the mental state that you're in right now, you're going to go on a trip with your friends and you're going to be all fretting and feeling guilty about your sister and crying and shit and ruin the trip for the other three girls. Don't you do that shit. Get your attitude right. Understand that your sister chose to do what she's doing because it suits her. That has nothing to do with your life at all. Nothing. Okay? It's nice that she want to have a 10-year anniversary. It's nice that her husband made it to 10 years. But that has nothing to do with you. Okay? And her daughter's birthday, I mean, that's great, but you see the little motherfucker all the time. What's one special, one day? That's only special to her mother because that's the day she popped that little bitch out. That don't have shit to do with you. I would go and jump my ass on the plane, go on the fin, drink with all my friends, be up there gigging, partying, doing what I wanted to do on the beach, and I just have myself a good old time, and then come back and tell her all about it, and look at her little tired wedding things, and be just like, yeah, well, that looks like real interesting, but I'm glad I didn't not go on my trip for that. She wouldn't want to be bothered with me because I would hurt her feelings. Mm-mm. Yeah, send a whole bunch of postcards. Post pictures all over your Facebook and your Instagram and stuff of you having fun and drinking and stuff. And then make sure that you say to, on one of them, Sister, wish you were here. All right, question number 5. Why do these idiots always come with these sirens? Female, 19 to 26 from St. Louis. I like my boyfriend a lot, and we have been dating for over 3 months. But he says I'm a bad kisser and has said that since our second date. I try to fix it, but he says I don't use my lips and I don't know how to get any better. When I tell him it hurts my feelings, he says I shouldn't get off offended, and he's being nice by trying to fix it. I would really like some tips. I don't want to break up with him. I just want to know how to be a better kisser. Girl, ain't you ever heard of Google? I mean, it's all kind of the stuff on Google. I wrote an article myself, like, shoot, back in the late '90s about well, mine was I like how not to kiss. So it's kind of the opposite. It talked about some of the really bad kisses that I had suffered through in my life. Hilarious. I need to find that and put it back up on the blog. But what you have here is a little asshole. That's what you have. Now, normally when people aren't that experienced at kissing, you have somebody who claims to be, you don't just follow their lead. You know, they do something, then you do something. You do what they do. So you mirror what they do, okay? It's really not that hard. So if you're not using your lips, then that means he isn't either. And see, me, and on the second date, he started with this negging shit on the second date, trying to break you down and make you feel bad about yourself. See, he already was setting you up to have some self esteem issues. You know, so now you feel all insecure and stuff, and he just feeling all great about it, talking about, oh, you shouldn't feel bad. You know, I'm just trying to fix. You know, you young girls have to understand this. When they start telling you shit like you quote need to fix or need to work on, what you need to fix is them out your life, them away from you. That's what you really need to do. So he's talking about, well, you know, what you can't do with your lips, and say, well, you know, maybe if you knew how to kiss, you could, you know, teach me, because I'm just doing what you teach, what you doing to me. So if it's something that you don't like, then that's your fault. You know, flip it back on him. Or if he wants to say something about, you know, you bad kissing, will say, well, you just a bad fucker. So I mean, if that means two of us are all fucked up, what you want? I tolerate your lack of dick skills, and you tolerate my lack of kissing skills. I guess we on the same page then. Something like that. Cause I just can't. It's just I just can't let somebody hurt my feelings. I don't hurt theirs back. It just it's this. It's in a it's a gene I have. I just can't let that kind of stuff pass by without slicing and dicing their ego a bit. So, you know, but really what you should do is just get rid of his ass. He's getting on my nerves. And you sitting over here going through all these changes, trying to figure out how to please him and become a better kisser. I mean, I guess it's good to become a better kisser, but you know, for all we know that you're a fine kisser, and he just was picking on that because he wants something that he can, you know, nag you about. In case you don't know what that means, that's a nag is negate. So it makes you feel like there's something wrong with you, like you're lacking in some way. And that's a typical pattern of an emotional abuser. Yeah, I'm like, fuck these motherfuckers. He might not be kissing nobody else. He just an asshole. I mean, it might be somebody from his past he's talking about, but I don't even think it's that. He just wants something to talk about to make her feel bad about herself, so that you know he has the upper hand. I keep telling you all, it's all about control. That's all they want. They want to be able to control you mentally and emotionally. So by controlling you emotionally, they're going to say something. You feeling too good about yourself, he's going to have to say something to negate you, to make you question and doubt yourself and feel bad about some component of yourself. So he's not going to talk about her looks, so she's probably really a pretty girl. He can't talk about other stuff, so he's going to go talk about some old esoteric bullshit like how you kiss. There you go. Lady Boss got the perfect solution. Well, tell him you're going to go learn with somebody else then that's going to teach you. And then you'll get back to him after you develop your kissing skills. That back and forth shit. I just want to get back at folks. I don't like that guy. Something about him. He just makes me just want to just be the cruelest person that I can. All right, this one is long too. Let me see. How am I gonna cut this down? All right, 19 to 25 from Las Vegas. I have a boyfriend. I've been dating for 2.5 years. I love him. He's my best friend. Something came up that makes me feel really horrible. About a year ago, his mother told him about how I was going to try to trap him, and it made him scared to be with me, even though they both knew I was on this implant birth control. She had always been so nice to me before, um, but after that incident, I recently was in a car accident and diagnosed with whiplash and a concussion. My boyfriend was caring and supportive the whole time. While I was waiting in his car, his mom picked a fight with him and told him there's no way I got injured from the accident and that she bets I'm just trying to commit insurance fraud. Wow. My boyfriend told me all this after we left, saying his mother wouldn't give him a second to explain anything, and expressed to me how mad it made him. We talked a little, but not much. And I went home. I told him I want to be sad, but now I prefer not to try to pursue a relationship with his mama. Okay, and entertain. I talked to my stepmother about it, who's a licensed social worker. She gave me some advice and told me that she sees in me the things she doesn't like about herself, saying that his mom is trying to trap her son. And the more she went into depth, the more I felt like that's what's happening. My boyfriend's mother makes him and his little brother have dinner with her every night and then tea time, where they get together again later in the night to have tea and desserts together. This has put a strain on our relationship because whenever he come with me for dinner at one of my parents' house, he'd always only stay for about an hour because he needed to be home for tea time. His mother also does not respect his privacy and always bursting in his room and yell at him and tell him to do things. And he'll always text or call me telling me he wants to move out because he can't take it anymore. But then later his mother will come home from work and take him out to dinner or do something nice and pretend like nothing happened until it happens again. I told my boyfriend I don't want to make him feel bad, but his mother's very manipulative and controlling, and he needs to stand up to her, but I don't think he sees it, and he tells me that he doesn't care what his mother thinks because he loves me and this is life, but I feel like his mother's controlling every detail of his life is not his, and it gives him less time to be able to spend it eating with me because his mother must always have him around. What should I do? Dump this little big-ass baby loser. Dude, you don't say how old he is, but you're in the 19 to 25 age group, so I'm going to assume you all been dating for 2.5 years. You in your early 20s. This boyfriend that you have is a wuss, a big ass baby. And to me, any man that's going to run and tell you what his mother said, some negative shit about you, is a bitch. Okay, that's just a bitch boy. First of all, it's like you don't tell people stupid shit that your mother said. You keep it to yourself because the world should know that your mother's an ignorant hoe. That's what you should keep this. Okay, you just don't tell people all of that. You tell your mother that's some ignorant bullshit, and I'm not trying to hear that. That's what you do when you are a grown man. You have to check your mother just like you check anybody else. So I don't want to hear that shit. Keep that to yourself. That toxic nonsense, coming up with some bullshit. I'm not trying to hear that. I know you're trying to thinking that you being helpful or whatever the hell you're trying to do, but don't you ever talk to me like that about my girlfriend with some old coming up with some old criminal nonsense to accuse her of. That's bullshit, mama. That's bullshit. And it really makes me disrespect you that you have this that you think it's okay to say that kind of stuff to me about the woman that I love. See, y'all, these little young boys, y'all will be checking your mothers. You got to get back your mother up and just tell her about herself. Now, as far as him and having dinner with her every time, but he can't say no. He don't know how to say no. I'm out this evening. I mean, but he just like a puppet on a string. She got his nose in a noose. What is up with this dude? See, this is what I'm saying. He's not ready to be an adult yet. He's still a child. And as long as he's still, being led around by his mother like that, basically all you are is somebody for him to vent to and fuck. That's what you are. And you thinking it's your man, and he's really like a kid. His mother has got him by the nose, and that's what she's trying to show you. No matter what you do, I still have more power over him than you do. That's what she's telling you. And she's right, she does. And that's because your boyfriend is a little bitch. So you need to tell him that you are not going to be in competition with his mama for him, and that you're not going to be the one, if he really wants a situation where he, oh, that's so close to his mama, he need to be over there fucking his mama. And so get the fuck out of my life. Go over there. You take your dick over there. Your mama want to spend all this damn time with you. I hope y'all are very happy together, and goodbye. That's what you do. I would refuse to be involved with a man like that. That's not even a man. I don't know what he is. It's a big baby. You got to think about that, young ladies, even though they're young, 19 to 25 age group, at some point you have to separate from your mother, especially boys. You got to separate from your mama to stand on your own to be a man. You cannot be tied to your mother's apron strings like that and thinking that you're going to have an adult relationship with some young lady. That's not going to happen. You can't be both. You can't be a child and a man at the same time. So you pick one. And in this case, girlfriend, you need to pick one for him. Because, you're going to be caught up in this thing where you're going to be trying to fight for his attention and competing with his mother against her son. And it's a contest you can never win because he's not willing to make that break. And he's too dependent on his mother right now. So you just have to accept that. Just take that L. Man, everybody got to take a L these days. Well, I mean, this lady's got some kind of something going on where she feels like she needs to have she got this unhealthy attachment to her sons, and that's the case with a lot of women. They don't have a man, and so they attach like that to their sons, and so they try to get all the companionship and attention and affection and stuff that they want from some adult relationship with a man. They try to get it from their sons, and it's very unhealthy for the boys. They feel guilty when they try to leave their mother because then they're like confused, like, well, now she's going to be by herself. She's going to be hurting. My mama's going to be crying. Well, of course, no child wants to see their mother in pain. So it creates a very hard dynamic for the young man to get past. And until he gets the strength to do it, this is a battle this young lady is never going to win. She's not going to win. It's an uphill fight that she's just gonna, the mother. What they really need to do, I mean, the best bet, hook mama up with somebody who's gonna walk through the door and sweep her off her feet and knock the dust off that coochie. She'll be all right. She'll be like, oh son, don't come home. James is coming over tonight. Don't come home. She was flip it like that, trying to get rid of him. But until that happens, this is just a losing battle for her. Now, mama needs some dick. That's what mama needs. She needs her own dang-a-lang. Then she'll be all right. But right now, she don't have none, and so she's, too focused on her son. All right, let's move on to question number 7. We're just on question 7 of 15 on tonight's What the Fuck video advice column. We do this every Tuesday. So you just kind of dropped in because you saw a live stream going on YouTube. That's where you are. And that's what we do here every Tuesday evening. I'm Deborah Cooper. I'm an advice columnist and been so since 1993. So, yeah, a lot of experience at this. So that's why I can read the questions and have an answer for you without even thinking about it too hard. So let's move on. So she's 26 to 35 and in San Antonio. I'm dating an older man. He's 40. I'm 30. Divorced, he with 2 kids, one of which has special needs. He's a great dad to his kids, a hard worker, stand-up guy. My family adores him. My friends like him, and he's very social, which is nice. I'm really lucky to have him. I try to make sure he knows I appreciate everything he does. We've been together for slightly more than a year. I'm divorced, also have one kid who's 6. So they both have 6-year-olds. We've been living together now for 3 months. This is the issue. This past Friday, I was working late from home and stressed out. My daughter kept asking for my attention. I kept telling her to go play. Eventually, I lost my cool and started yelling that I needed to work. My boyfriend came into the room and said he'd take her to the park. You can just finish working. I thanked him. He told me he wanted to get some bug spray so we wouldn't be eaten alive by mosquitoes. So they went outside and he sprayed the spray on her arm, and apparently she had a cut there. She was screaming and crying from the burning sensation. This is happened right outside the window where I was trying to get some work done. I jumped up, opened the door, and said something that probably wasn't good. I said quite loud, "What did you do to my daughter?" Unknown to me, a neighbor was walking on the sidewalk and stopped and stared. We all went back inside, And he said, forget it, you can take her. He got in his car, went to the gym, and I took her to the park. See, your bitch ass, you just was saying you got to get some work done. You could have just taken him to the park in the first place. He was very quiet when he got home and went right to the couch and turned on the TV. I tried to talk to him about what occurred, but he brushed me off. I sat on the other side of the couch and tried to snuggle and kiss him. He rejected me. I've never known a man to reject me. He said he was tired. He just wanted to be left alone. I tried to sleep, but I couldn't. A few hours later, I go back to the living room. I asked him to talk to me. He said some comments that I'm having a hard time reconciling. Comment number one. I asked him what happened outside. He said that's the correct way to ask the question, not what did you do to my daughter while yelling it. He explained the bug spray and the cut that was on her arm. He said it was embarrassing and that he believes I should have been more calm and not so accusatory. Comment number two, I asked him why he decided to throw his arms and say he's not taking her to the park after he said he would. He said he didn't want her yelling in pain again and the potential for another scene. He said he was trying to do me a favor and that it blew up in his face. I told him you can't simply avoid taking her place in the future, and he said he'll worry about that later. And number three, I asked him why he rejected me. He said he's mad, he wants to cool off, and that he was tired. I asked him if he could just lay next to him on the couch, and he said no. So in the morning, he was a little more talkative, but not really. He basically said, if you believe that I'd intentionally hurt your daughter, then you don't know me very well. I told him that I feel that perhaps he regrets us moving in, and he got angry, saying only you would somehow combine the two events. I asked him where we go from here. He said he doesn't know. My boyfriend and I rarely fight, but this is a big one. I know my daughter's a handful. She's made rude comments before, and I try to correct that. I think she has an issue that I'm dating again. I think the comments coupled with the scenario that occurred on Friday has been too much for him, and he's disconnecting. He's not connecting. You okay? First of all, stop trying to blame this shit on your daughter. She's 6 years old. The way the man is disconnected because of your bitch ass. You are stupid, immature, and you don't have any control over your dumb bitch ass mouth. That's what's really happened here. Let me read your ass and tell you how fucked up you are. Okay, number one, you're only 30 years old. You're the dumbest 30-year-old I've ever met in my life. Number one, okay, you have a child, you yelling at her to go play. It's fucking Friday. Okay, you working late from home. You got Saturday and Sunday to do that shit before you turned it in on Monday. There's no reason why you had to do it Friday. Friday should be the time that you spend with your baby after your ass has been working all week long. She wants some time and attention with her mommy. How long did you take a kid to a park? What, an hour, hour and a half? And then they're tired. They want to go home and eat dinner, okay? But you two had some good time together. And even after she goes to bed, your bitch ass can get on the computer and complete your project. Okay, you can't get time back that you spend with your kids. That day has passed, that time, that opportunity is gone right along with it. So you fucked up there. Number two, okay, your boyfriend, instead of you asking what's going on like a normal person would, you immediately blame him for doing something wrong to your daughter. You came out the gate with accusing, he's guilty. You done sentenced the man and everything, and you have no facts. You don't know shit about what happened, but just what did you do to my daughter? Typical nigga bitch shit. That's what that is right there. I'm so pissed right now. I don't even know what to do. You lucky he don't leave you. If I was a dude, I would have packed my shit up and left your ass that day, because I would see how ignorant you were. There's no coming back from this kind of ignorance. Okay, so then you embarrassed him and humiliated him in front of the neighbors. So you know he's the gossip now. He's the fodder for everybody in the neighborhood. They're going to be talking about how you talked to him and how he hurt your daughter and all these accusing looks from everybody. You just set him up to get all kinds of ridicule and disrespect with your big fucking mouth. Okay, then in all of that, now, no acknowledgement, no apology for talking to him that way, no nothing. You just come in and start talking about your needs. I wanted to hug him. I wanted to kiss him. He said no. I've never known a man to reject me. Bitch, you need to, because you can't control your fucking mouth. You are so simple-minded and so immature, it's like hard to believe that you're a mother, because your thinking processes is all kinds of fucked up. You are supposed to come to sit down at that man and say, I'm really sorry. I overreacted. Please forgive me. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm stressed. You better cry, beg for some excuses and all. But you didn't do none of that. You got an attitude because he didn't give you what you want. I want a hug. I want to cuddle. I want to kiss. He rejected me. Nothing about how you treated him and talked to him, though. See, you don't have any issues with that until the next day. Oh, okay. I guess it's later that night. Okay, so the cutting thing. and then he's not going to take her to the park. Why would he want to do you a favor after you did that to him? Are you tripping? Are you confused? You talk to man like he's a dog with a tail and some kind of child molester rapist or something, and then you think that he's gonna still follow through on it. You, like I said, you lucky all he did was go to the gym. Cause I would have rolled in there and started packing all my shit and been on the phone with somebody's moving company to get my shit up out of there. Okay, so then why he rejected you, he want to cool off. You really think that you can insult and degrade somebody and they just want to be in your face and still cuddle and kiss like nothing happened? You really think that? That's where you took this. And he's right. I mean, he summed things up right at the bottom line. If you really believe I'd intentionally hurt your child, then you don't know me very well. And do you know how crushing that was for him to have to say that? He realized he's with an idiot. He's with a woman who doesn't trust him, with a woman who has no control over her mouth, who's so immature and stupid that it's embarrassing to think that he's in love with her. You know, what you have to, and just blame it on your daughter, bitch, please stop that shit. Your little girl don't have shit to do with this. This is all about you. This is what you did to fuck up your relationship. Do not try to put that on her. Don't you dare. You did this. You and your big mouth and your selfish attitude, you just all kinds of fucked up. You don't need to be in a relationship until you grow up. 30 years, but you got the mentality and the maturity of a 10-year-old. Your daughter's probably more mature than you are. I'm just like horrified that this, every once in a while a letter comes through. I think the last one I got this mad was the lady who was mad because her kid was bullying a special needs child and the stepmother beat his little ass. And she started writing to me talking about, she want to go over there and kick the woman's ass and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, this is on par with that. That's how I feel. Rena, what's up? The Bev Mo Fund. That's what's in this cup, actually. I probably shouldn't be drinking it because, wine just makes you hotter. But that's all right. Y'all, yeah, I bet sure our bitch ass gonna see what it is now. Because you see how I broke it down? Every step of the way, everything that she did wrong from start to finish is in there. Poor parenting, poor relationship skills, low levels of maturity, no accountability, no acceptance of responsibility, and selfish, narcissistic, a whole litany of things that you see, and none of them are conducive to a relationship. But anyway, my thing is most likely this guy's going to call this relationship off. There's no coming back from talking to somebody like that and accusing them of hurting your child when that's the furthest thing from their mind. It's like there's no comeback from that. So if you ever get in a situation, ladies, and you hear something like that, please ask what happened first. Investigate, get the facts before you jump to conclusions and start accusing people of doing something that they did not do. It's going to destroy your relationship. Well, that's another one bites the dust. All right, let's move on. Question number 8 of 15 tonight on What the Fuck Tuesday. This is a young lady in the 26 to 35 age group from Minneapolis. I have an event coming up at work next month, and I'm being asked slash expected to stay overnight in a bunk barn, with other colleagues the night before. The thought of this gives me terrible anxiety. I really struggle with sleeping in a room with other people except for my husband. I feel really self conscious and end up with terrible insomnia. And the next day, more often than not, I get a crippling migraine where I can't see or move and end up vomiting for hours. Whoa! It's horrible. And I can take medication for the migraines when I feel an attack coming, but the meds are strong and I know I manage them easier by just trying to avoid situations that cause me stress, anxiety, and lack of sleep. I'm not sure how to explain this to work without sounding like a child who can't sleep away from home. I still want to attend the event and I'm capable of working it. My only issue is the sleeping arrangements the night before. Any advice on how to deal with this would be huge appreciated. Yes, but you don't have a credit card? You can't book your own room? Fuck sleeping in a barn with a bunch of people. I'm not doing that. I don't want to smell people's farts or hear them snoring. That's not Deb's thing. I don't do that. And it's like, I had this job one time where I had to go. They had a thing where they make you do double rooms, okay? So we was going to be at this place doing a health fair for a week. Was it a week? I guess 5 days, something like that. up in like St. Helena. I mean, even though it was nice, we did wine things and stuff. It was real nice. And so one of the women, I had to share a room. They have the women share and the men share. Okay, so I had to see. Now this lady was, I mean, I don't be tripping on people's religion, but girlfriend was, she was Muslim and she wanted to do all these prayers and stuff, and then she was really weird about her body. I mean, like she did, she slept in her clothes and she just seemed really self conscious. Like, I don't know, she was like I was some man or so. I don't know what she thought. It was really bizarre, and it just seemed like she was really uncomfortable. So I don't know if you don't know what to think. Is it because we have a different religion, or is it because the racial issue? You know what I mean? Because we're both women, so it wasn't that, and we're both straight. She claimed she was married back, wherever she came from, and so it was just really a bizarre thing. So what I did was, I went to the desk the next morning and I got me a room myself. I had to pay for it because they only pay, well, they pay half because they pay half of a room. They pay for double occupancy rooms, so for two people. So I had to pay for my own room, but I didn't even care because she was just too weird for me to be bothered with. And I was way more comfortable. I could watch my movies and I could talk on the phone and cuss if I wanted to and stuff that I didn't feel comfortable doing with her there. And so it was really interesting. So I don't do the sleep in the room thing unless I know you really well and I know we on the same page kind of thing. But with strangers and coworkers and stuff, no, I'm not doing that. So that would be I mean, this is an easy fix. You just find out where there's a hotel around the area, get you a rental car if you need to, and tell them I'm not going to be doing that. It's my own personal reasons. They don't need to know all the details. And then you just tell them where do I need to meet you in the morning. I'll be there. And that's all you have to say. You don't have to give them an answer or an explanation. Fuck them. Especially if you're paying your own, you're paying your own thing. But, you're only going to be one night. It's like, I mean, how expensive can it be? It's not like you're going to be staying there for a week. Damn. It's all right. Pay it and relax. But it sounds like you one of them little kids that peed in the bed. And so you have all this anxiety associated with it. I'm just a bitch. I just always had my own room because I was the only girl. Very uncomfortable even sitting in a room with non-Muslim women. Really? Well, I could, like I said, couldn't figure if it was that. I mean, she seemed perfectly, cordial and stuff, any other time. But, she was talking, laughing, interaction stuff. I mean, she was cool. But there was this element of, she was on edge and she didn't seem real comfortable. Oh, look, new person, hot Carmen, hot Carmen. But she just seemed really uncomfortable. So that made me uncomfortable. So, but we two uncomfortable people. I said, "Fuck all this. Let me just give me a different room. That we don't have to deal with this." All right, question number 9. Female, 26 to 35, from Newcastle, England. I'm having issues with my husband's family. I don't really get along with them. They don't seem so keen to even start a conversation with me. I moved in with them 5 to 6 months back and I still don't feel comfortable. My mother in law seems to have passive aggressive temperament, and brother in law literally seems like a jealous little kid. My husband bought a house with his mom. He basically paid the mortgage and she contributed money that she inherited to buy the house. Brother in law was supposed to live with us, but now it seems like he would never move out because, according to my husband, he doesn't earn enough. I'm getting a bit annoyed with the fact that his mom drinks every day and his brother smokes weed every day. I don't like that kind of vibe. They seem like moody people. My husband thinks he made a great choice because renting is basically dead money, so eventually this will be his house. So to him, it's a great investment. While for me, I don't like the vibe of people I live with, and I'm beginning to see that my husband has double standards with his family. Lately, when we talked about me working part time, which will only land me up with 400 euros, excluding, or is that pounds? Looks like the little E thing. I can't tell. I think this is euros. Excluding travel, phone bill, etc. So after my bill, I would probably be left with 250 euros, and he's still expecting me to pay his mom 50 euros out of it because she pays a couple of utility bills. And I was surprised how he thinks his everyday weed smoking brother doesn't earn enough to move out, even though he earns above 700 euros, and me with just left with 250 should still give money to his mom, and also she gets half of the rent that comes from a tenant. I don't know if this is fair, with a question mark. His mom doesn't cook for me or anything. I thought I was supposed to work to help him out so I can take care of my bills. He says his brother gives little money to his mom, so I should too. She cooks for him, not for me. Isn't husband and I supposed to be considered one? He pays mortgage and the internet. I feel like we are individuals living on rent. Can you help me understand the situation? What my husband is thinking? Your husband is a bum. That's what he's thinking. Your husband is a bum. And you, if you get your money, put your money in your separate account. Don't give nobody the PIN number. Don't. If you have any checking accounts, checks or whatever, which most people don't have any day, but just in case you do, any banking statements and all that kind of stuff, keep your shit at work, locked up somewhere, or get you a little storage room somewhere or something, some kind of facility where you keep your shit, your valuables separate, because this is how this is going. Your husband bought the house with his mother before he married you. So none of that mortgage equity and that's going into that house is going to you. Okay, the mother-in-law paid some down payment and your husband pays a mortgage. So that means that he paid some of the down payment too, right? And he pays the mortgage. So the mother is not really investing in the house. What she's paying are bills along, it's assigned the house that any tenant would pay. Lights, water, garbage, stuff like that. So, and plus she gets half of the rent from the rest of the unit. And so she's coming up. She's coming up big time. She don't have to pay no rent, and she gets money from the house. She's paying the same bill she would pay any other way, which is grocery, the lights and all stuff. She's not buying you groceries, okay? So she's just basically buying for her and her bum ass son. I guess you and your husband buy your own groceries. I'm not seeing where you need to give her shit, and I would tell your raggedy ass husband, I'm not doing that. Your brother did not put anything in the house, and he's not married to anybody up in here. So there's no reason for me to give money in a situation where my husband is the owner of the house and she gets half of the rent money and he's paying some stuff. He should pay something. There's no place in this world where he could live for free. So he should pay something to live here because he's not supposed to even be here in the first place. Any place else he would live, he would be paying something. So you need to put your foot down, girlfriend, and just tell your husband, no, even if I do go over to work and work part time, I'm keeping all of my money. I might buy some food or something like that. But you can bet I'm not going to be giving your mother a red cent. Now, I don't know how that's going to land with you, but that's how it's going to be. And that's what you need to tell him. Well, I guess she has to eat, she has to cook her own food. Yeah, definitely an exit strategy. But she's married, and so evidently that means something to her. That don't mean shit to me. It's like I see a situation that's full of fuckery. I'm deuces, and this is one of them. You know, this is not good. But yeah, don't you give them any money. There's nothing for you here. Your name ain't on shit. You don't get any benefits from that house. So just remember that and monitor your spending. Don't buy no curtains. Don't buy a rug. No dishes. Don't do shit. Don't do nothing for that house. That would be me. Yeah, the brother just living like a bum. Mm-mm. Now he want a roommate that he can fuck and that helps, feed him. Good luck with that. That would be what I'll say. And anytime it's like, well, you don't like it, then let me move out. Question number 10. This is a woman, 19 to 26, from Portsmouth. Portsmouth? I don't know where that is, but it sounds familiar. I have a friend who historically I feel takes advantage of me. I have been friends with her for 7 years, and throughout that duration, I found out stuff she has said about me behind my back, have witnessed firsthand nasty texts that she sent about me, and just overall encountered small things that I didn't think about at the time, but have always seemed to add up to larger fights. She got jealous when my boyfriend and I got a new dog. So much so that when we both went to a mutual friend's birthday party, she blatantly ignored my boyfriend and I and told me that she didn't want to talk to me. What? How old are you guys? Okay, 19 to 26, you must be 19. We ended up getting into a blow up fight over her being so passive aggressive. When we met weeks later, she basically admitted that she felt like I wasn't hanging out with her as much as I used to and giving her my time. She has always been nasty to this boyfriend who is now my fiance, and she continues to follow my ex on Instagram, who put me through emotional turmoil for 3 years. She brings him up often and even bumped into him 2 years back and divulged personal information about me and my new relationship to him. Okay. Fast forward to my birthday this year. She did not send me a direct text to say happy birthday, but instead only wished me one after a friend of ours pinged me in a group. Okay, whatever, whatever. At this point, I had enough. I never responded, deleted her text, and just never reached out again. That was October. It's now June, and my boyfriend just proposed to me. I really thought once she saw the photo on social media that she would reach out to at least open the lane again and congratulate me, but nothing. I have no idea what I did to this girl to make her so mad and ghost me for so long. I started to think she's selfish, narcissistic. I should also add my mother has stage 4 breast cancer that she's well aware of, and I informed her that my dad's heart surgery that occurred right before my birthday. So none of that stopped her from acting out at me in this way. What is the deal for real? Her and I have been very close mutual friends and literally lived in the same neighborhood. So I'm just waiting for the dreaded in-person interaction. I should also note for her birthday this time last year, I not only bought her flowers, but helped her pay her bar tab. Fuck that hoe. This is what you need to do. Go on your social media pages and delete her, block her. Delete. Go on your phone and change the name. This is my standard tactic. I don't leave the name. I change the name to do not answer. And you know you can't have the same one. So I have like 1 through 82 or 89 or something like that on my phone right now. I don't even know who these people are, but I know if they call me, it pops up and it says do not answer and whatever their number is. And I follow the instructions and I don't answer the phone because I've had my same phone number since the 90s and I refuse to change it. So, but let's review what you wrote here. Okay, you've been friends with her for 7 years. It sounds like it's been 7 years of bullshit. So you said you found out stuff that she said about you behind your back, witnessed firsthand nasty texts that she sent about you, and you've encountered small things that you didn't think that that much about at the time. I don't know why. Why would you have a friend that talks nasty shit about you and says things to other people about your behind your back? I mean that. How do you construe that to be a friend? Let's start there. Okay, then she flipped out about you and your boyfriend, and she acts stupid about that. And then she goes and tells information about you and your new relationship to your ex, one who put you through hell, and she's like still buddy buddy with him, and you don't see where that's a problem. You still want to be friends with her. You see where I'm going with this? You made a series of bad decisions and trying to keep this person in your life, and I'm trying to figure out why. What was your motivation? She didn't really acknowledge you on your birthday, which I mean, that's one thing. Really, the only one who really should acknowledge your birthday is your mama, because she's the one who had you. But that's whatever. Some people really into that stuff. I'm like, whatever. Um, and then your boyfriend proposed, and she saw the pictures. Once she saw the pictures on social media, you thought that she would reach out. Why? When you know that she don't like the man, she likes your ex. So what was this expectation coming from? That's stupid. Then you trying to figure. Your mother has cancer. She's probably happy about that. Your daddy got heart surgery. She's probably gleeful about that too. And what you have to understand is around 7 years, every 7 years, you change friends. It's a 7 year mark. It might be 7 years, it might be 14 years, it might be 21 years, it might be 28 years. But that 7 year period, every woman goes through like a transition and a purge. You change things about yourself, you change the associations that you have, you change your friends, you change your relationships with people, even if they still stay in your life. The relationship that you have with them will change every 7 years, like clockwork. And this is just an example of that. This is something that, it should have been changed and you should have been got rid of this girl. So you do what I told you, go block her on everything possible. Stop putting up shit on your everything about your business on social media. Keep your mouth closed about your relationship, because she's gonna be trying to spy so she can tell stuff to that other dude. But for all we know, dude don't really give a shit, and she just was talking to him about that. He was being polite, but he doesn't really care because he's probably moved on too. But it doesn't matter what he thinks. The point is, this person called herself your friend, and that's how she's doing you. And I would get, I would never, yeah, that 7 year thing, I'm telling you, that is so true. I mean, when you really think about it, look at the relationships that women uh, have and think about the changes that you've made as you reach those different milestones, like at 14, at 21, at 28, at 35. Every time we change a great deal about ourselves. Our worldview, our insight into ourselves changes. And as you do that, it's like a snake shedding a skin. So the new person, the new you emerges. And the new you is like the bigger, badder version of what you had before if you've done your spiritual work like you're supposed to. You're supposed to be going through your life learning and advancing as a human becoming. Okay? That's a phrase I learned from some Hindu studies I was doing. You're a human becoming. And so you're trying to become your best self so that when they throw dirt on your face when you die, you have done the work that you're here to do, which is to make this world a better place and the people that you touch better people. That's what we're all here to do. And every 7 years, you get a new chance to do it on another level. And so, you guys need to be cognizant of that and monitor what you do in your associations. And it's time for you to grow. Every 7 years, if you're not growing and changing, then there's something wrong. You're stymied, and you need to fix that. But I see this as what, she's ready to go on to the next level of her life. She's going to be someone's wife. She's going to be someone's mother. That's going to bring a whole new realm of responsibilities and understanding of herself as a woman and as a mom and her place in society. I mean, there's a lot of change associated with marriage and motherhood that I think a lot of people don't really appreciate. But I see that this is, a friendship that has run its course. Probably ran its course after 2 years, but she just didn't understand. But the 7 year mark, it's time for that to go. Do everything that you can to move her on out of your world. Assalamu alaikum. Bye bye. Deuces. All that. All right. Question number 11. Female, 19 to 26 from London. My ex has contacted me after 1 week of no contact. He dumped me as apparently I was not expressive or affectionate enough, something which I disagree with wholeheartedly. Now he has called me a week later. The call was not very nice. He became argumentative and demanded me to tell him why I removed him off my personal Instagram. I said this was a personal choice that makes the breakup easier. He then continued to call me names and pathetic and immature. Wow. He then closed with, let me know when you feel like acting like a grown-up. I'm so confused by this and his actions. Where do I go from here? Girl, you should have went to cuss a motherfucker outland. That's where you should have went with an express one-way ticket. You should have got like, what? Let me tell you something about yourself, raggedy motherfucker. A, don't you ever call me again. B, I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't give a hell what you wrote. And I don't give a shit about you being on my Instagram, not, whatever. I just don't, if it bothers you so much, then you should have been on my Instagram because we ain't together no more. We ain't a couple. What the fuck you doing on my Instagram? Go on some bitch's Instagram that you want to fuck because it ain't me. Okay, and then this other thing, let me know when you feel like acting like a grown up. I acted like a grown up when I left your ass. Well, actually, he dumped you, but whatever. When you act like a grown up, like you supposed to be checking in and you need his approval. Fuck you, motherfucker. I don't need shit from you. Kid, don't you dry up and blow away like the dust mite that you are. Oh my God. Where you go from here, you block his ass. You should have changed his phone number to do not answer so he can't call you. Why do you guys do that? And then when they call you, you actually answer and you talk to them and want to be arguing with them. That's the shit that just amazes me. I'm just like in awe. One of my exes know better than to call me. They already know. They ain't trying to have their ears burnt to a crisp. Because I would take a deep breath and then, because I used to sing so I can hold notes for a long time. Motherfucker. It just keep going with that. So I don't really understand why you guys do this to yourselves and you don't close all them doors and protect your heart and mind and your sanity from these clowns. But that's my suggestion. You need to start pumping yourself up so that should he call again before you have the opportunity to block him, you can proceed to cuss him out and tell him about himself and call him all kinds of raggedy fuckers and everything else because he is just ridiculous. Yeah, honey, block, block, block. That's my favorite thing. Even if I'm dating you, I might block you sometimes just because I don't fucking feel like hearing from you. They had this thing on my phone Verizon offers this feature where you put people on a what they call it, this privacy or some kind of setting. Well, anyway, it's like a temporary block. It could last for 48 hours or something, and so for them 2 days or 3 days, they can't call you. And so by the time they ring and you actually answer, they be like, "You weren't taking my call." Sure wasn't, because you got on my goddamn nerves. But are you ready to act right? If you act right, then we can talk. If you want to act stupid again, I will put you back on the block. No, no, no. Don't be tripping. You be tripping. That's what you. I just never met a woman like you. Just be tripping all the goddamn time. It's like, oh, it sounds to me like you're not finished tripping, and I need to put you back on block. And so then they immediately pipe down. But they want to get their little feelings out, like somebody gives a shit. Question number 12. This is a woman, 26 to 35, from Jersey City, New Jersey. So I chatted with a guy on POF. This is never going to end well. The swipey things in POF are always bad news. Now I'm a Leo. I'm a Leo. I don't have no Aquarius in my chart. Let me see. Do I have some? I think there's some Cancer in there somewhere. But I'm basically like, it's a miracle I'm not burnt to a crisp, because it's like, Leo, Aries, more Leo. I have like 4 or 5 planets in Leo. It's just insane. I just don't know why I haven't just like crisped myself up to oblivion. But it's awful. It's terrible. So this woman is 26 to 35. Okay, so the POF a while ago. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We shared a lot of interests. He lives locally. It's been 4 months, and it's been more 4 months since then, and I went back on there. Hmm. He messaged me straight away 3 days ago, expressing surprise that I was back on there. I explained that I logged off and then came back. He said he was disappointed that he didn't get to meet me and would like to do so. We exchanged a few messages. He asked if I had plans this weekend, which I did. He then asked if he could add me on Facebook, and I said no. Today he said he would prefer to meet than chat on there, and was I busy today? I said I had just got home. I was going to eat and chill, but I agreed that we should meet. I gave him my number and told him to text me next week. Today is Sunday. To arrange something. He replies to say, fancy a chat? I respond, what now? Eager, aren't you? 2 minutes later, he's ringing my phone. I don't answer because I'm going to eat and chill like I just told him. Then he messages me to say, ring, ring. Okay. This is when you should have had your Google number in full effect. Thoughts, Deb? I know what I'm thinking, but I'm tired and grumpy, and I wanted a second opinion before I decide to block him or tell him to get a grip and ring me Tuesday when I'm not so exhausted. My thoughts are that he's a bunny boiler or the type who has no respect for boundaries and tries to just steamroll you into doing what he wants. But maybe I'm being dramatic. No, he's an over anxious type, which a lot of these guys are. They're so lonely and desperate. They don't, their hunger for a woman in their life and for some vagina is just so overwhelming to them. When they see that there's a prospect, a possibility of getting some, they want it to happen today. They don't have no chill. They have no patience. And so, and plus it's like he's been on POF. He's probably used to, some women who just jump on that, like, and be like, Lady Boss says, throwing up all them X's, blocked. Um, I would say, if you chatted briefly before, there must be something about the guy that you liked. I'm kind of trying to figure out what it is, though. But this, what he's showing you is definitely someone who does not respect no, and he does not respect boundaries. So this is the kind of thing that would make me a little bit hesitant to be in a situation where I was alone with him. And if you go out with him to eat anything, watch your food and watch your drinks. As in, don't leave them for a second. Don't even turn your head and dig in your purse or look at your phone while he's there by your drink. Don't do that. So many of you get so easily distracted by your phones. You know what I do when I go on a date? I turn all that shit off. You know why? Because I want to sit there and stare at your ass the entire time while I'm there. I want to see where your hands are. I want to see what you're doing with your mouth. I want to see your facial expressions when you talk shit because you can read a lot by a man through his eyes and his body language. And y'all distracted, you looking at your phone, you texting people, you looking out the window, you doing all this shit here. You don't know what they're doing because you're not paying attention. You're not in the moment. And they look for women like you. So easily distracted and so brand new about dating. You need to keep your eyes on the motherfucker that you across the table from or sitting next to. Do not get distracted. That's how your ass end up in a hotel room with lines of 20 niggas trying to figure out what happened. See, you notice these men are not wrapped too tight. Y'all need to get your shit together and stay focused. But yeah, I'm kind of concerned because he doesn't seem to really. You said you gave him parameters, and he totally ignored them and did what he wanted to do. So if that were in real life, and you all in a situation, maybe you just wanted to kiss, and that's all that you really wanted, and you said stop, don't know more, and then he's gonna keep doing what he wants to do anyway. So you have a decision maker. I'm not gonna tell you what to do because you're plenty grown. You're 26 to 35. But this man has got definitely some red flags here, and you might be tired and grumpy, but your sixth sense is telling you correct. So what you gonna do about it? That's up to you. That is up to you. But yeah, I don't like when I tell people something and then they gonna do what they want to do anyway. Question number 13. We're on 13 to 15 on what the fuck. Oh, this next one is long as hell. Oh, looks like she put all the long ones at the end. All right. This is question 13. A woman from 19 to 26, age group from Philly. I've been dating this dude for 3 months. Nothing too serious, but we enjoy each other's company. Unfortunately, his mother died 3 weeks ago, and since then he hasn't been replying to my texts. I sent him a final text telling him I understood what he's going through, but I felt sad and rejected and wanted to offer my support. He replied a day later saying he's sorry I felt that way, but I should understand that he's going through a lot and there's a lot to organize and he'll contact me when things have settled. I do understand this, but where we used to text every day, there's zero communication now. I know he's going through a lot, but I can't help feeling rejected. I just want to give him my support, but I'm unable to. Should I just be patient, or is this proof that he's just not into me? God, you're a fucking bugaboo. Jesus, these needy effers. 19 to 26, and this is how you act. You only been with the motherfucker for 3 months. Okay, it's not like he's your fiance. Y'all been together for years. You ain't even met his mama. Okay, you don't know shit about the situation. Nothing. You enjoy each other's company. Okay, so you friends, probably fuck buddies or whatever. I mean, so his mother died 3 weeks ago, so that means 2 months in is when the mama died. Okay, you don't have a relationship with this man. You don't. He doesn't owe you shit. It's polite that he told you that his mother died, but after that, you supposed to just walk off like Forrest Gump and just do what you need to do. What he's going through has nothing to do with you, and you sitting up there making it about you. Well, I feel rejected. Where are these women coming from? I'm just in awe. This is not about you. You know what has to be done when somebody's parent dies? Man, you got to clear out their house. And, oh, my mother had a storage unit. It was just out of this world, so full of stuff. And, you got to clear out the house and you got to stop payment on certain things. You got to close accounts. You got to get the death certificate. You got to send it to everybody to oh, it's a lot to do. It's a lot going on. And it's four of us. You don't know if he even has any siblings. He might be doing it all by himself. And all you can do is talk about what you want, which is to provide him with support and how you feel rejected and all this old stuff. So you're making it all about you. Just leave that man alone. God. I mean, even if he does get back in touch, you something's wrong with you. You just get on my nerves. Just reading this note got on my nerves. Yeah. But she's too old for that. They're just so fucking needy. To the point where, well, I know you just married your mother and that you're sad and everything, but I feel rejected. I need attention. It's about me. See, me, now he was very polite, just told her stuff. I would have cussed her out. And like, bitch, like I don't have shit else to do and think about. I just put my mama in the ground, and here you are talking about what you fucking need from me. Get the fuck off the phone. Don't you ever call me again. I hope you eat shit and die. Okay, that would have been me. But you know, she gonna sit up there writing me with this whiny bullshit. Like I have time to hear that. I mean, people have real problems, okay? And their letters didn't even make it in because your shit, bullshit ass. I know my cousin be trying to mix it up and stuff, but I mean, this is just depressing that women are this dumb. Question number 14. She's in the 26 to 35 age group from Washington, D.C. My husband gets really angry with me. I have a hard time communicating with him. He says I'm always interrupting him when we get into conversations, especially when they are heated. I know maybe I do, but I know it's a natural habit, especially when arguing. He goes to extreme lengths to elaborate that I interrupted him. Sometimes I don't even speak. It's just an eye roll or a head nod because I'm trying so hard not to speak because I disagree with what he's saying. He'll go on like, you don't let me say what I want to say and you don't let me answer your questions. You just ramble on. When I ramble on, it's more like talking like, what should I do? Should I do this, then this, and this? You know how we get anxious when you're thinking and talking things out? I don't know how to communicate, maybe. I'm not sure. He interrupts me too, but every time I just tell him, he justifies I every single time. Okay, I don't know what she's talking about. I'm thinking maybe it's a pet peeve now. It's like he doesn't understand I want to ramble a bit and get stuff off my chest and then hear him out. He tells me it's unfair. He says I can't do that. He's my husband. I have no one else to talk to about my stresses and problems. It took me courage to go to him today and talk about a feeling I'm having about a certain person watching our kids, and I was wondering maybe I'm overreacting. He didn't even let me explain. I accidentally said, am I overreacting as a statement. After I said it, I rambled on about it because I wasn't finished saying what I needed to. He was yelling at me saying, you're not letting me answer your question. He's interrupting me. I'm just having a hard time communicating. I'm anxious and have a lot on my chest, and I feel like he doesn't want to hear it. He's so focused on the fact I said a question, but when I was rambling on, yes, I should have calmed down, but I get anxious. He yelled at me and belittles me, saying I don't want to hear what he has to say, and all I care about is me and my thoughts. It gets crazy. Tonight he kept yelling at me, "Fuck you!" Oh, see, no, that's crossing the line. Then he was saying that I'm a bitch. I've been with him since I was 14, my only guy. He never used to call me names and say things like that ever. Now I accidentally interrupt him and all hell breaks loose. I went to him for a shoulder support but came out with absolutely nothing. I almost want a divorce, but that's another issue. How do I communicate? Is interrupting really that bad? Is this a habit? Here she goes rambling in the letter. I don't mean to not want to hear him. I really do. He doesn't let me explain myself and he doesn't let me get things off my chest by just kind of rambling. How do I get things off my chest? I'm feeling lost here. You get a diary. That's what you do. You get a diary and you ramble your ass off in that. You can even do the online diary. You know, you can open up a Word document on your computer and ramble until you can't ramble no more. Let me explain to you how this is. I'm a woman and I don't want to hear that shit. Now, I know a lot of people say, "Well, Deb, you have a attitude like most, like men," because I'm just like I want the Cliff Notes version. I don't care about all your different feelings about it and what he said, she said, and then how the moon looked and the stars, and then all the stuff. I know there's a lot of women that's important to them. They like to go and just micro-examine every nuance of every feeling and communication and experience that they have. They just love it, and they have friends that love it, and they get together and they just micro-examine every single thing that happened to all of them, and they can do that shit all fucking day. You know how much a lot I want to hear that on Tuesdays when I do this column. That's it. I don't want to hear it any other time of my life. No, 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 no. And so when I have friends and people that they want to talk, and they start with that stuff. I say, okay, just tell what do you want from me? Give me the bottom line. What am I here for? Well, I need you to do this and that. Okay, then next time lead with that. I need you to do such and such a. Then tell me what it is you need me to do. Then put the frame around it, and then I will do it. And then we can be finished with this in 3 5 minutes. Okay, we don't need to be here for 2 hours while you explore all your feelings. I have shit to do. I don't have time for that. And anybody's husband is definitely going to get irritated as fuck unless, of course, he's the same way. There are some men that are, rather feminine in that way, and they like to do stuff like more like in line with what we traditionally see as women conversing. But on this channel, there's a video like how to talk to men. Take a look at that. It suggests that you give men sentences of no more than 5 words, and it works. If you want to keep their attention, they have a short attention span like a gnat. And so you tell them what you want in 5 words or less, maybe maximum 7 for the highly developed male brain, but 5 seems to be a good round number. And you say, Johnny, take out the trash. Johnny, take out the trash. Psh, 5 words. Husband will get up and take out the trash. You don't need to be like, oh, wow, I was just really so tired today, and I came home and I cooked, and then, I just noticed there's a smell in the kitchen. The garbage is really piling up, and and by the time I cook and put all these wrappers in there, there's going to be even more trash. And what are we going to do? It's just not going to fit in the can. Oh, you see where I'm going with this? She gonna ramble on and on for 20 minutes about this fucking trash in the garbage can. Okay, don't nobody want to hear that shit. All the little design nuances and what's gonna go in the can and when it's going and all this old stuff, how it's gonna smell and look and all. I don't care. What do you want me to do? Just tell me what you want me to do. Honey, take out the trash. Bet. Done. Okay, problem solved. Now you can go over there somewhere and, deal with your feelings. Lady, you have to, understand what you're doing here. You're driving your husband crazy. That's what it is. You need a friend or a shrink or a diary. One of those things because you trying to use him as a sounding board while you verbally, hit him with all this verbal diarrhea and you never get to the point. You just wandering back and forth in your thoughts. Nobody wants to hear that. You're making him crazy. I'm feeling crazy just reading about it. So you need to stop doing that. Like I said, there's 3 options here. Get you a shrink. Learn how to, what it is that you're really doing here, why you're doing it. Number 2, fix your communication style. Make your communication style more succinct and direct with your husband. Explore your feelings elsewhere. Or number 3, just leave him and find you a man who wants to sit there and listen to all that shit. Most likely, such a man will be deaf, and he would just sit there and smile at you because he won't be hearing a word that you say, and he'll just be happy that you're standing there in front of him. So those are your 3 choices. Yes, aren't they the best, Miss Monet? Dehydrated ramblers. Yes, I feel really blessed and lucky. I don't know. They found me. So, it's just one of them lucky things. I guess I'm living right. All right. Let's move on. Question number 14 and 15. We got 2 more to do. I'm roasting. As soon as this is over, I'm going to take a cold shower. Oh, it's so hot. You gonna cheat with a mute bitch? Yeah, she can't say shit. She gonna be like, he'll be like, baby, I love you. Poor guy. I know how he feels though. This is just too much. I feel exhausted, and all I did was read the letter. All right, this is from a young man, 19 to 26, from Oklahoma City. Me, my girlfriend, and my mom just went camping this past weekend, and here's some backstory. Wait, what? Me and this girl were set up on a blind date by this girl's mother, and our first date was simply a movie. On that date, my mom had dropped me off and also met my girlfriend for the first time. She took a picture of us together, introduced herself, and after I asked her about being an exclusive couple, me and my mom set up a camping trip for the 3 of us. Since my mom wanted to spend more time with her, and she's also an EMT who's very into the great outdoors, so it seemed like an ideal situation. My girlfriend had never been camping or fishing before, and I thought it would be a good way to get her into it and try something new. So on the camping trip itself, she didn't seem very into it. There were times when I'd be trying to set up camp or prepare fishing lines, and she would just be awkwardly standing around and staring into space. She wouldn't be offering to help or interact with my mom or anything. And I got my hopes up about the 2 of us snuggling by the campfire, but she just awkwardly sat on her own little rock and stared in the flames. I put my arm around her, but she didn't reciprocate anyway. The whole camping trip just gave me the vibe that she's not as into the relationship as I am. Maybe I'm just overreacting and looking too deeply into her behavior, but I'm also worried that she's only dating me because her mom set us up. What should I do? You should get a fucking clue, 19 to 26-year-old dummy. You don't go on a date with a girl you just started dating with your damn mama. What is with these dudes and their mothers? You don't bring the mother on a trip to camping with your girlfriend. I'm shocked that you didn't know this. All you had to do is tell your mother, well, maybe another time. But right now, we need to get this situation well established with just the two of us. So, no, you can't come this time. I'm going to just be her and I for, till we really get this thing off the ground. How hard is that? Just because your mother wanted to go and you want to spend time with her and all this stuff. What, did you guys like try to set you guys up for marriage and stuff? What the hell is I'm just like, yeah, why is his mother there? She was there when he met the girl, met her and taking pictures and shit. It's like a threesome. The girl is sitting there thinking about how weird and fucked up what this situation is and how she gonna be stuck with your mother for the rest of her life in every single thing that she does. That's what she was thinking, and that's what she was horrified about, and that's why she's like not feeling you because she's like you too tied to your mother. You can't be tied to her when you're too tied to your mama. It doesn't sound like it's as sick as that other situation that we talked about earlier, but it's just the same. You're too dependent on your mother, and your mother has too much influence in your life and too much romantic, in your romantic life. It's like these mothers, and they just can't let these sons go and do what they need to do. I don't know. It doesn't say what religion they are, so I don't know. Well, you heard, I read what it says. So you know as much about the couple as I do. Nowhere in there does it say that they're Mormon. But yeah, the mother was just doing too much. I mean, if they was all, Mormon and all guarded and stuff, then why would they even go on a camping trip anyway? That's kind of an odd date, if you kind of be all Puritan and whatnot. That's not you be all romantic under the stars by the campfire in the tent and shit. That's not a Mormon date. First, second date or whatever. But you don't bring your mother on a date. Come on, dude. Really? You fucked this all kinds of up. She don't want to be bothered with you. She's done. It's a wrap. You can forget it. Just unbelievable. Yeah, why was his mother there? Exactly. That's exactly what she was thinking. Ken's MB. I mean, I know what I would have been thinking. I probably would have asked him, why'd you bring your mama on a date for us? How is that appropriate? And then waited for him to tell me. It's like, well, I don't like your mother being here. And at some point, you need to, have some boundaries. And not your mothers don't need to go on every date that we go on. I mean, this is something, you know what I mean? Like when you're a well established couple, because, like, we used to take my brother, my younger brother, with us, but I mean, we had been dating for like a year or two by then. And, take my brother on fishing trips and stuff with us. And, it was nice. I mean, they was going to be brother in laws eventually. So, they needed to spend some male bonding time together. So they would go off fishing. I would stay behind. I would, prepare lunch or whatever. And, I mean, it worked in a situation like that. But like I said, we had been together for a long time, and we knew, where the relationship was going. There was going to be some, merging of the families going on. So it was appropriate for he build, develop a relationship with my younger brother. And, but in a situation, this is just their second date. I mean, dude, for real? That's just, yeah, it's very strange. It's very odd. I don't think I'd like that too much. All right, let's move on. This is our last letter of the day, and it's long as hell. Oh, God, it's so hot. This is going to be a miserable summer. Y'all going to see me sitting up here. I'm going to be more and more naked on the camera. It's just like too hot. All right, question number 15. Female, 26 to 35, from Liverpool, England. I have been with my partner for 3 years. We have lived together for the past two. Last year, I bought my own flat with inheritance money that my dad left me, and we moved our out of our rented flat into it. We have had issues in the past with his money problems. He's a recovering compulsive gambler and racked up a lot of debt before he met me. He tends to hide his problems from me, and eventually I discover them. He promised not to do it again, and I forgive him. Oh, really? Besides that, our relationship has been great. However, I started a new job 7 months ago, which has been extremely stressful and requires a great deal of travel. My new manager has been horrible and bullying me, so I have been coming home stressed and upset every night. A few weeks ago, I discovered some debt letters in the flat and found out that he hadn't paid his employment tax or his car insurance, meaning he's driving around uninsured for months. I was so upset with him and said I didn't know if I could be with him in the long run if he kept hiding things from me. Fast forward 3 weeks. My job situation gets increasingly worse and comes to a head. We are having dinner one evening. He turns to me and says, I'm not happy. I'm not sure if I love you anymore. And he said he wanted to move out. And so he started backtracking, saying maybe we could start dating again in a few weeks, but he needs to move out. He's crying his eyes out over it. So the next day he packs a bag and leaves and still crying. He texts me the following day and says he's sorry and he hopes we can meet in a few weeks and see what happens. I suggested we have a call, and there are cards on the table. I suspect his problem could be money. He agrees and we speak on the phone, but he says he wants us to work and that he deserves that and that we can meet up in a few weeks. I wonder what this few weeks is. I wonder he got to do some time in jail or some kind of program or something. Something that's too suspicious. He also says he wants some space, but he doesn't want us not to message each other. And if I need him for anything, then please contact him. So the following day, he comes over and gets all his stuff. He's crying, keeps hugging me and saying how sorry he is. When he takes the TV, his TV, I ask him if he will use it, and he says no, it will go in his mom's loft. I said maybe I could buy it off him. He says if all goes well, he'll be back with me at some point. I agree to give him space, and he says he will message me and set up a date for us to meet. Now it's been 2 days, I haven't heard from him, and I won't contact him. I'm so hurt and upset. With everything I'm going through with work, I feel like I'm at an all-time low, and he's leaving me in the middle of it. If he wanted to break up with me, why not just do it? But he just keeps saying we can meet in a few weeks and try to start over. He also hasn't changed his relationship status on social media. I am so confused. I love him so much, but I don't know if I can ever forgive him for this. I mean, he has cleared all of his things out of my flat, and it was all so sudden, not a word of warning. Well, let me look at this thesis that you wrote. All right, so you've been with dude for 3 years. He's a recovering compulsive gambler, and he was in a lot of debt. He hides his problems. You find out he's hiding them. He promises not to do it again. You forgive him, and then the cycle continues. That is the cycle of a codependent. That's what you are. I'm assuming from this, he had some debt letters. Something's going on. Your boyfriend, something happened of a nature where he's either going to jail, they got them 30-day sentences, or he's got to go to a treatment program, or there's something happening that is a finite amount of time, and that's why he's moving out. Now, it could also be that there's some other woman who's going to fund his lifestyle that he would like to live, you know. I knew a dude that he wanted to be on the poker circuit, right? Let me tell y'all about this clown. This is the real issue, though. He taught me how to play poker. Now, he had been playing for years. He taught me. I picked it up really quickly. Why was I beating him? If I'm winning over you, then you don't need to be on the poker circuit. But he had this woman who was, the entrance fee is like $10,000, $20,000. And so she was paying it for him, and of course he was losing. But I'm like, dude, you wasting money. I just learned how to play like 3 months ago, and I beat you like most of the time now. So what is the deal here? Because may I have I'm good at reading people. So you take that. If you're good at reading people and you take that to poker, you're gonna win. And playing at his house one time, there was like 8 people playing at the table, all men, all with more experience than me. I took all of them's money because they couldn't think that I knew what I was doing, right? And so they went all in, all 8 of them, all in, and it was 2 tens. I had 2 tens in my hand. That was my cards. I was dealt 2 tens, and then on the flop there was another 10, and then on the turn, that's the fourth card. We was playing 5 card stud. There's another turn 10. Okay, so I have 4 in a row. I mean 4 of a kind. That's a super hard hand to beat. And they couldn't have been 4 of a kind in any other way because there was no other cards on the 2 other cards on the board that was saying. So I already knew I was winning this hand. Did I make that? Did I get excited or anything? I played the role. I'm looking all doubtful, like I don't know what I should do. So I said just put it all in there. And so they laughed and they did the same. I put down them 2 tens and took all that money. They kicked my ass out. I couldn't play in there anymore because I won like $400 in one hand. They was through with my ass. Oh, girl, they was big mad because they knew I had just learned to play. But they couldn't read me. They couldn't figure out what I was doing. I was very And so they got tricked, and I took all their money. It was good. It was on time too, because I needed some money for that. Something was happening, and I needed extra $400. Something about my daughter in school or something. But it came in very handy. It was just right there where I needed. I was like, "Thank you, universe. You made that happen." So that's my thing for you, girlfriend. Your dude is hiding something. You'll find out what it is sooner or later. But I mean, this you have a series of bad situations, bad choices with this man. He hides, he lies, he pretends, he plays something. He's a gambler. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what it is that you see in him that you like. When people are that kind of have those kind of issues, you can't depend on them because you never know when they're gonna blackslide and be broke and then come in the house. The TV he took, motherfucker might have took it to sell it. He's telling he was gonna be in his mother's loft, but if he knows he's not coming back to you, then he could go sell the damn TV and use that as some more gambling money. So for you, 26 to 35 age group, it's time for you to wise up, make better choices in men, deal with the situation that you have at home, on your job. Make sure you keep some kind of employment so you can keep your house that you bought, with inheritance money. Pay your taxes and everything to make sure you keep your home, and find you a man that's got some good sense. A guy that you can depend on and that you can trust, who's going to be there for you, and who doesn't make you, be in a position where you have to lie and corner cut and, double check behind him and, find out stuff about him and all that kind of stuff. That's a very unsettling relationship. I don't understand how you can have it. Yeah, there's no redeeming social value at all. I don't get what you see in dude. I just see a big fat zero. But she see potential. After a man is like 21, he don't whatever you see is that's what you get. That's the best it is. Either he's on his track and he's on his grind to make the reality happen, but he's like it's in motion. If he's still just jabbering about what I'm woulda, shoulda, coulda, wanna do, and he ain't actually done shit, and he's past the age of 21, it's a wrap. He's not gonna do it. Okay, that's a bunch of bullshit. I mean, even if he does, you shouldn't be banking on it because that's not a good bet. But like every so often, at the horse races, the wild card comes in winning. But think about how many thousands of dollars people lost trying to bet on that kind of shit. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Yeah, women be socialized, become codependent. That is a good video. Thank you, Robin, for recommending that. That's another one. But you know what I'll do? I'll be putting some cards up at various points through the video up there so you can see them. As you go through the video, you'll see them. Just click them and they'll take you to the video that you need to see. I'll also link to some good ones at the end of this video on the other when it says other depth tourism videos of interest. I'll put some there. So I don't know what we're going to talk about on Thursday. Maybe I'm thinking we shouldn't have a Thursday and we should do another Friday night uh, DNN show because I still people sent so many videos. I mean, what you call them, memes and stuff. I have so many left that it would be good to use those. So let's do that. Okay, no show Thursday. Come on Friday. We're gonna have the Dusty News Network back in full effect on Friday with more of the dusty memes and posts that are all over social media. It was some amazing shit. If you did not see that show yet, it's the last show before this one. We did it on Friday night. It's unbelievable. The mentality of these dudes. You will just be just as shocked and appalled as we were. It was a hot mess. But anyway, thanks you guys for sitting in with me while I sweat through this show. This was some unbelievable nonsense. And as usual, what the fuck Tuesday did not fail to not fail us and definitely didn't disappoint. So come on through on Friday. Be sure before you leave, hit that thumbs up, that like button, and click the link and share. If you're not a subscriber, please become one. Click that bell symbol too and get the instant notifications working. Deb Cooper from survivingdating.com. I will see you here on Friday night. Bye, y'all.